Hi, my name is Sharon Boyce. Welcome to the Voice of Boyce. Today we're going to be looking at what parents can do if they suspect their child has dyslexia. There are lots of strategies to move forward. It is really important not to get stuck at that point of fear of what we might find out, because once we find something out, we can then look at things that we can put in place, networks of support, and really explore and understand what dyslexia is. I guess the starting point of this process is really looking at thinking and talking and creating a conversation with the classroom teacher. They may have approached you, or you may suspect that your child's writing, reading, and overall education is not exactly what you think it should be. Sometimes these are just, I guess, age-related issues. But I think the earlier that we actually look at what supports we can put in place, if we do think there are issues, problems, different ways of doing things, and also the questions that we have in our head, sometimes putting it out there and finding out solutions to move forward will create a really good space to really create real change. This is what really works. I find that often we can look at discounting things first of all, and then look at who we can talk to, where we can go, what are some of the supports that can be put in place. And sometimes it might not mean anything formal, but often the informal supports are what really will help. There is very little funding attached for dyslexia. However, we can look at utilising things like going to an optometrist, discounting eye problems. But at the same time, when you go to an optometrist, you can also ask to go to an optometrist who is a behavioural optometrist as well. So in that way, you then can actually explore and discount and look at different things. No, my child doesn't have eye problems, but they might have some issues with the way that they process the information. Once that process has taken place, you can then talk with the classroom teacher. Think about ways that you might be able to explore, support things in place for your child. There often is the question of, who do I ask for to get testing done? The Spelled organisation, particularly within Queensland and across Australia, really works well with a lot of these issues. As I've said previously in other videos, I don't like to discount anything. With dyslexia, I really like to create conversations with children myself. And I think that we need to explore that as a parent. You need to look for how your child is writing, what is happening, where things are happening with the reading process, whether they look like they are enjoying what they're doing or whether it is a real struggle. Ask them questions. What do you see when you actually look at those letters? I know that I was working with a reading recovery class they were year 1 kids, and I was working one-on-one with one little girl, and I remember saying to her, okay, well, you just read that sentence for me. And she just looked at me, absolutely puzzled, and said, am I meant to be looking at the black bits or the white bits on the paper? Because the black bits are walking all around like ants. Whoa, even today that comment really gives me almost a shiver with the thought of what she was seeing every day and her description, which made that come to life the struggle of what reading was for her. The letters were moving when she was trying to focus on them. So the processing and the understanding of that text was not happening for her. There are dyslexia testing services, and these all cost money. Educational psychologists and guidance officers can help. But again, I really believe we need to explore and create conversations before we move into the formal assessments. And then if that is the way that you want to go, work as a team. Ask for support. Link with the teachers. Link with special educators. And don't try to go it alone. And create positivity and really create support for your child. Because dyslexia, when it is a struggle, can create very negative issues. But if it is looked at in a creative way, and the way that kids want to learn, and really exploring different ways of doing things, you can get great outcomes. So my advice is, let's look at all opportunities to create pathways of support instead of panicking or feeling that you're isolated. We need to have a team that will work together to help create real change. And if you've got questions, you need to ask those questions. And we need to ensure that your child feels supported and enjoys that education process. And we need to get to that point where they will be enjoying it. Because education is fun. And if we look at multiple intelligences, as we will in another video, and look at ways to really celebrate learning, we can make a educational journey that will be positive for everybody. So don't feel like you're on your own. If you have questions, please ask, and please make sure that your child's enjoyment and learning becomes the focus of what you are going to do to support them.